What's good, YouTube? It's your boy D-Rip. Hey, today we're gonna be reacting to the story of Darby Allin. Y'all really got me hooked on AEW, and I really like Darby Allin. So I want to thank y'all first, because without y'all, I wouldn't even be growing right now. I'm growing pretty good right now because of y'all. I thank y'all. I'm really happy that y'all been sending me videos to react to, especially these AEW videos, because it's opening my mind more to wrestling. I've been a WWE guy my whole life, so AEW is actually like changing me a little bit. It's changing me a little bit. I'm just saying. If it's first time I come across my channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Scroll down. Subscribe. It don't take no time. Also, down below in the description are 3 different ways that you can communicate with me: Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. I really don't care if you follow me on Instagram, but I do want you to follow me on TikTok, because I just hit 2,000 on TikTok. 2,000 followers on TikTok. So if you follow me on TikTok, thank you. Also, follow me on Twitch, because I will be doing a giveaway on Twitch, but you will never know about it unless you follow me, because I talk about it live. If you don't follow me, you won't, like I just said. Hey, thank y'all for the ones that subscribe right now. I thank y'all, because I'm trying to hit 5K before the end of the year. I'm almost at 3K. I'm trying to hit 5K before the end of the year. I can't get there unless you subscribe if you don't already. So also make sure y'all send some of these videos to some of y'all friends, because I know there's videos that y'all like. Also, in the comments, let me know what y'all want me to react to next. As long as it's appropriate, I will react to it. So, out. I'm cooking chicken tenders right now, and they smell amazing. But I'm about to go ahead and get this thing going.
AEW's biggest and brightest homegrown stars, and he has distinguished himself from everybody in AEW through his unique and enigmatic character, and he has captivated audiences through his unconventional and risky wrestling style. However, before AEW, Darby Allin was unknown on a mainstream wrestling level, and when he was announced for a match against the red-hot Cody Rhodes, who was coming off his classic match against Dustin at Double or Nothing 2019, everybody just kind of assumed that he was the grown-up version of this kid.
Just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
Hey, he do look like him though. He do look like Little Buddy though. I never thought of that. I knew he looked kind of familiar, but I never thought of that like that. That's so neat.
All right.
But little did everybody know of the nuances and subtleties of Darby Allin's character that made him a star. And this was shown in the vignette that was released in the build-up to his match versus Cody Rhodes. And in this vignette, he told the story of how his drunken uncle hopped behind the wheel and picked him up when he was 5 years old, and him and his uncle got into a car crash, which took his uncle's life, and Darby was the sole survivor.
I do remember somebody in the comments telling me about that, because I did a Darby Allin video a couple weeks ago, and I asked why did he paint half of his face, and y'all explained it. Somebody explained it to me in the comments, and I appreciate that. So I kind of, hearing it a second time, I understand it. That's crazy. That's sad. That's very sad too. But wow, crazy.
Darby Allin faced death that day, and he has expressed that this is why he paints half of his face. It's because he feels like half of him is dead and half of him is alive. Darby Allin is suffering from survivor's guilt, and he has incorporated that into his character in pro wrestling. And in this vignette, he also revealed that he got relentless and nothing's over till you're underground tattooed on him because of his drive to succeed. And in this vignette, he also talked about his affinity for pain that he's gotten from skateboarding that has crossed over into pro wrestling. And he expressed that he does all of these crazy stunts because he wants the audience to feel his pain. This vignette touched a lot of people, and it caused people to see how much of an interesting and intriguing persona Darby Allin has. And so the stage was set at Fyter Fest 2019. The relatively unknown talent Darby Allin versus the red-hot EVP Cody Rhodes. And this was the same match that Darby Allin took the world-famous apron bump. Oh no! And this match told a compelling story of Cody being cocky and giving Darby Allin the beats, and Darby Allin taking the beating and not giving up, as it went to a 20-minute time limit draw. And at the beginning of the match, the crowd was mainly chanting for Cody Rhodes, but by the end of the match, the crowd was chanting for Darby Allin. And remember everything that I'm saying about Darby Allin's feud with Cody Rhodes, because it stretches on for a while. And by the way, hit that like button if you haven't. But anyway, this match seemingly made Darby Allin a...
Like he just said, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Let me know that y'all like these kind of videos. I'll react to another person if y'all like this video up. I'll react to another person from this guy, because he has more. Because I'm actually interested in AEW people, but I will not know if y'all like it or not if y'all don't like the videos. Go ahead and like this video right now.
star overnight. But the craziest thing is that it took Darby Allin years and years of grinding and being relentless to become an overnight success. In the years leading up to AEW, Darby Allin wrestled on the independent circuit, and he was living on the razor edge as he revealed that he experienced homelessness for a few months while he was living in his car. Nothing has ever come easy to Darby Allin, and on the independent circuit, he distinguished himself from everybody by cultivating his daredevil-like wrestling style. And on the independents, when he was wrestling Joey Janela, he took a bump onto concrete, which caused his brain to swell and bleed, which is a legit fatal injury that could have killed Darby Allin. But this is indicative of how far Darby Allin is willing to go for the sake of pro wrestling. And Darby Allin brought his exhibitionist style of wrestling to AEW. Darby Allin even rejected WWE because he felt that he wouldn't be able to be his authentic self. And he's
smart man. Because you know Vince would not let you do or say the things that you want. Vince is very controlling, so we can't realize that's why a lot of people are leaving.
authentic self is him posting these eerie vignettes of him doing these crazy stunts like jumping off of high places and many other things. Darby Allin's stuntman-esque persona and moveset really allured a lot of people. And at AEW All Out 2019, this was on display further.
Why did he jump off of the bridge like that?
In his Cracker Barrel match with Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela, in which he took this sick bump. Darby Allin is quite literally a mad man. And then after this match, Darby Allin won a #1 contendership match against Jimmy Havoc, in which he earned himself a shot at Chris Jericho's AEW's World Heavyweight Championship. And this match between Chris Jericho and Darby Allin was a Philadelphia street fight, and it was mind-blowing, and it further highlighted Darby's knack to perform dangerous moves, as his hands were tied behind his back for a good portion of the match. But he still managed to pull off so many acrobatic feats.
Our tenders are done. Hopefully they don't burn. I'm gonna let him sit in there for a little bit longer.
That had the potential to really end badly. Chris Jericho got the win, but this match solidified that Darby Allin was able to hang with the very best.
Jericho looks huge compared to Darby Allin.
And after this match with Chris Jericho, Darby Allin faced off against Jon Moxley. And this match was awesome as Jon Moxley gave Darby Allin a paradigm shift off the top rope. And this spot left everybody watching like this. What the hell? Watching this in real time, you really thought that Darby Allin broke his freaking neck. But this just again showed how far Darby Allin was willing to go for the sake of pro wrestling. And there's more to the story with Jon Moxley down the road, so stick around for that. After this match with Jon Moxley, Cody Rhodes experienced some problems with the Butcher and the Blade. And Darby Allin told Cody he'd help him take care of the Butcher and the Blade on the condition that he gets a rematch against Cody. Cody and Darby surprisingly meshed well together as a tag team, and this led them to defeat the Butcher and the Blade, which set up Darby and Cody's rematch at AEW's first show of 2020. And in Darby and Cody's second bout, Darby gave Cody a run for his money, and he even corrected the failed coffin drop to the apron in this match. Cody defeated Darby with the help of his new coach, Arn Anderson, who told Cody Rhodes to put his legs up when Darby Allin was going for a coffin drop. And Darby Allin did a coffin drop straight onto Cody Rhodes' knees, and this caused Cody Rhodes to roll up Darby Allin for the 1-2-3. But he only beat him by the skin of his teeth. Even though at this point Darby Allin had taken a few major losses in AEW, his stock was clearly rising as he was gaining more and more momentum every single time he stepped out. Darby Allin then entered into a little feud with Sammy Guevara of the Inner Circle. And in a post-match beatdown after a 6-man tag, Sammy Guevara grabbed Darby's skateboard and put the edge of Darby's skateboard onto Darby's throat and rammed Darby into the ring. And this caused Darby Allin to be out of action for 3 weeks, and when he returned, he set up a match at AEW's Revolution.
That's a tough picture.
The match at AEW's Revolution was a great match, even though it was a very short match, with Darby picking up the win, but it showed that Darby and Sammy are future players for AEW. At this point, Darby Allin was on an upward trajectory, and nothing could stop the snowball of momentum that he'd accumulated. That is until the pandemic hit. The pandemic managed to take some momentum out of Darby Allin's hot streak, as the pandemic did with every other wrestler. And the first few episodes of AEW Dynamite in the pandemic were very weird, as the true magic of pro wrestling was hard to come by with no crowd. And even though Darby Allin was featured on these early pandemic episodes, the show was still suffering. And in response to this, AEW announced the 8-man tournament to crown the inaugural TNT champion. And this was the first truly interesting thing to happen on Dynamite since the pandemic began. And Darby Allin was a part of it, undefeated, of which he defeated Sammy Guevara again in the first round bracket match. But then he faced a familiar foe in the form of Cody Rhodes in the second round. And in their third bout, Cody Rhodes just beat Darby Allin, as Darby Allin had Cody Rhodes beat when he landed a coffin drop on Cody, but then Cody rolled his shoulder up and pinned Darby Allin for the 1-2-3. This match highlighted that Cody Rhodes had always beat Darby by outsmarting him, and he has never pinned him in a dominant and definitive manner. This match showed that Darby was inching closer and closer and little by little to beating Cody Rhodes, and it was only a matter of time before Darby would get that W over Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes then went on to win the TNT Championship, and before AEW's Double or Nothing, Darby Allin's feud with Taz started as Darby rejected Taz's advice. And in
Taz is
AEW's
like
Double or
60.
Nothing 2020, Darby Allin participated in a casino ladder match in which the winner would receive an AEW World title shot, in which Brian Cage participated in and won the ladder match. But what was interesting is that Brian Cage was accompanied by Taz, and this set off their feud even more. And after this match, Darby Allin teamed up with Jon Moxley to defeat Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a match. And in this match, Darby Allin shredded Ricky Starks back. Ouch.
That's gonna leave a mark.
He had thumbtacks on the bottom of the skateboard? Man, ain't no way that man finna jump on my back with that thing, bruh. As I always say, y'all gonna have to pay me extra. Y'all gonna put some thumbtacks on me.
And at this point, Jon Moxley was the AEW World Champion. And Darby Allin challenged Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. And I talked about Darby's second attempt at the AEW World title in my story.
See what I mean? I like this video, and I'll go watch more videos. I'll watch some more people. We got Jon Moxley. I want to watch that, y'all. I want to watch the Jon Moxley version. But I ain't gonna do it unless y'all like this video. So, stop what you're doing. Like the video right now. They have a Jon Moxley one. I believe they have a MJF one. And I want to say, can't think of his name. But I want to see more of these. I would do. Gotta like.
So far video on Jon Moxley, so you should check that out if you haven't. But basically, this match was a storytelling masterpiece, and the story in this match was Darby Allin refusing to back down even in the face of a madman like Jon Moxley, and Moxley was reluctant to teach the brash and naive Darby a lesson because he saw a lot of his younger self in Darby, but Moxley was forced to teach Darby a lesson. And after Moxley beat Darby, he held Darby in his hands, and this was such a powerful scene. And in the words of MJF, it was
C'est magnifique.
And after this match, Darby Allin challenged Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship at AEW's Full Gear 2020. And this was the ultimate culmination of their feud, as Cody Rhodes was coming off just winning the TNT Championship back from Mr. Brody Lee. And this was the fourth match between the two, and there was so much pressure on Darby Allin to win this match, because if he lost, this would have been his third loss to Cody Rhodes in a row. If Darby Allin had lost this match to Cody Rhodes, it would solidify Cody Rhodes as the game, if you know what I mean.
It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control. And if you can take
Get
it,
that out of
all
here.
about you.
Finally, Darby Allin picked up the win.
I already got a video that I'm trying to work on still because of copyright reasons. I don't need no more videos getting copyrights. I did a 50-minute video about MJF and the CM Punk. Better than you. I did the whole reaction, 50 minutes. It got blocked because of copyrights. AEW. So AEW, I don't want y'all money. I don't want none of that. I just want the video to be uploaded, which is almost done. And I had to cut out like all the parts that were copyrighted. Hopefully the video is still. So if you're interested, still watch that video. It should be up around the time when this one goes up.
By a roll-up, and him winning the TNT Championship was such a beautiful sight to see, as it was the perfect time to pull the trigger on Darby Allin, as he deserved it so much, and especially to see him win it from Cody Rhodes was very gratifying. Credit to AEW, because this storyline stretched for almost 18 months and it ended just the way it should have. But Darby Allin's TNT title run started off quite badly, as he was pinned clean by Brian Cage the following week in a tag match. But the following week, after Cody and Darby got their revenge on Team Taz, something huge happened. As Will Hobbs of Team Taz was about to hit Cody over the head with the FTW title, the lights went out and the icon Sting walked out. Sting was AEW, and he proceeded to stoically stare Darby in the eyes. And this was such a compelling image considering the fact that they both have many similarities, especially with their face paint. Sting and Darby then decided to team up, and this partnership between Darby Allin and Sting was a match made in heaven, as Sting was literally the face of TNT once upon a time, and Darby was literally the face of TNT in that current moment as the TNT champion. This pairing wasn't only aesthetically pleasing, but they also complemented each other greatly, as they were both loners and both of their attitudes and demeanors were alike. Sting was kind of like the delinquent uncle to the delinquent kid, and Sting and Darby Allin continued to feud against Team Taz, and one week Team Taz was in a car and they even dragged Darby Allin in a body bag. And this feud culminated in a tag team street fight at AEW's Revolution 2021. This was Sting's first match back in almost 6 years, albeit cinematic, but this match was great and had many memorable moments and spots, as Sting picked up the win for him and Darby. Darby Allin then went on one hell of a run with the TNT title as he defended the belt against the likes of Brian Cage, Joey Nutella, Scorpio Sky, John Silver, JD Drake, Matt Hardy, The Butcher, Nutella, Scorpio Sky, John Silver, JD Drake.
I recognize his face. What was his previous name? Was he in WWE? What was his name? I recognize his face.
Drake, Matt Hardy, The Butcher, Jungle Boy, and 10. And many of these matches main evented AEW Dynamite. And this just showed how much trust and faith AEW management had in Darby, as he was getting pushed very consistently and was drawing very well in the ratings. Darby Allin's next challenger was then Miro, and this match was billed as the man who doesn't mind dying versus the man who doesn't mind killing him. And unfortunately, Darby Allin lost the TNT title to Miro, but Darby Allin's run with the TNT title further solidified him as a main event talent and one of AEW's biggest prospects. During Darby's amazing TNT title run, him and Sting feuded with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, and this feud was really good as there was a lot of history going into this feud, as Ethan Page legit fractured Darby Allin's skull on the Independence, which again, just like his other head injury, is a legit fatal injury that could have killed Darby Allin. Darby Allin is kind of like a cat. He must have 9 lives because you just can't kill him.
I don't sleep cause my head's on fire.
I told you about this music, bruh. I can't play the music, yo. Can't keep getting my reactions taken down.
Scorpio Sky threw Darby Allin off a flight of stairs, which caused him a shoulder injury that caused him to be injured in his match with Miro. So it's fair to say that things got personal in this feud, and it culminated at AEW's Double or Nothing 2021. And this was Sting's first in-ring match since 2015. And this match was excellent, but to be completely honest, even though Darby Allin was amazing in this match, Sting was the star of the show, as Sting showed the crowd that he's definitely still got it. Him and Darby picked up the win, and Darby Allin tied his loose ends with Ethan Page in a coffin match, in which Darby Allin won in a spectacular fashion. Sting and Darby then entered into a brief feud with the former NXT talents 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, and in Sting and Darby's match with 2.0, Darby Allin did one of his trademark tope suicidas. Darby Allin is almost like Rolf from The Simpsons.
Oh my god.
I'm a brick!
And then from there, Darby Allin mentioned the best in the world. And through the power of those words, 10,000 plus seats were sold to the United Center in Chicago, and the cult of personality, CM Punk, debuted to an electrifying ovation. And the first person CM Punk called out was Darby Allin. And the fact that Darby Allin was chosen to be the very first person CM Punk fused with speaks volumes of how much faith AEW puts in Darby Allin. Darby Allin said that when he was 15 years old, CM Punk was his favorite wrestler. And CM Punk echoed this by saying that if he was 15 years old, Darby Allin would be his favorite wrestler. Even though CM Punk and Darby Allin are aesthetically different, they are very similar in many ways, as they are both straight edge, meaning they don't drink or do any drugs, and they are both pariahs and mavericks in their own right. And this set up their match perfectly for AEW's All Out 2021, and this was CM Punk's first match after 7 long years out of wrestling. And this was an excellent match, and even though Darby lost, it took Darby's name value to the next level as his name soared to new heights, as a lot of returners to wrestling found out who Darby Allin was. After this match, Darby Allin started feuding with MJF, and his storyline with MJF was the classic story of a bully talking trash and belittling the outcast. And this feud was short but really good, and it culminated at AEW's Full Gear 2021, where MJF picked up the win over Darby in an amazing match. And some people even say that it was the match of the night for AEW Full Gear 2021. This match is the beginning of the storyline to MJF versus Darby, as this feud has the potential to go on for years and years into the future. And that's where we are in the story so far of Darby Allin. Darby has come a long way in AEW, from a relatively unknown talent to one of the biggest stars in AEW, and he has made an emotional connection with fans, especially the younger generation, as it's not
That
uncommon
is
to
tough.
see little Darbys running around at
That's
AEW
tough.
shows. Darby Allin has become a sort of symbol for being yourself and loving yourself just the way you are, and he makes it okay to be an outcast. It doesn't matter if you're weird or if you like this or like that. What matters is that you're you, and you shouldn't change for anyone. He has become a beacon in many people's hearts to never ever give up, because nothing's over until you're under the ground. And in this way, he's a perfect underdog, and one day he'll for sure be AEW World Champion. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Hey man, like I said, y'all want to see me do more of these, make sure y'all like this video. I will do another one, trust me. Like I said, and y'all can also send me videos y'all want me to react to. As long as it's appropriate, we'll react to it. So like, I like doing reactions for. I don't really care about the money. I don't care about it being copyrighted. I just get mad when it's copyrighted and then it's blocked to the point where y'all can't even. That's the stuff that makes me mad. That's why I kept muting the music. I don't want to take no chances. But I thank y'all, everybody, for the support. Everybody that's watching this video. Hopefully y'all subscribe soon. If you don't want to after this, hey, like the video, subscribe if you're new.